Hello, my friends, and welcome to Truth Bomb, the quickfire quiz show where I test the best the indie media has to offer on AI's official narrative with a truth bomb or two thrown in. I have convinced some of the best indie researchers, journalists, and hosts on the World Wide Web to compete against each other in a quiz show which will shake the very foundations of mankind. AI sets the official narrative, but there will be plenty of occasions for each contestant to throw in a truth bomb or two to set the record straight and for a chance to win extra points for the answer. But of course, I will be the judge of that. Our contestants today includes Scott of the Homos.
Hello.
Scott, I am delighted to be the one to host you finally. It's very good for those at home. You're one part of a collection of homosexual historians.
Well,
which part do you play?
Not to point on it. We're Homo sapiens. But
what?
Yeah. So History Homos is the show in which we melt your mind twice weekly since 2020. So join us over there, and thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
If you're History Homo sapiens, why did you make me take my clothes off the last time that I came on your show?
Oh, that was a special recording we had after the podcast. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, I get this a lot.
My handler asked me to get some compromise on you, so.
Well, it's a lot to be had, so he can fill his boots. I am not ashamed of any of it. Your opponent, though, however, must be one of the most clearly repressed homosexual men I've ever met. Do you think that yourself? What do you think?
Well,
is he small willy energy?
A few things.
Is he small willy energy or big willy energy?
Definitely big willy.
I thought so. I did. That's why. But I mean, when I'm not a homophobe, so I love homosexual men. So that is for me a compliment to him. Sure. But Scott, he will be taking on another hysterical homo, William.
The reason we made you take your clothes off on your last appearance on our show was just we wanted to be sure you really are white and not just white face.
Yeah. And we wanted to make sure you weren't wearing a wire.
Of course. And you wanted to make sure that I did all of those things that you made me do. I remember. Well, William, you're well known for convincing Americans that you're a well-spoken English gentleman. Do you have your own niche OnlyFans yet?
No, I don't believe that.
Only feet.
No.
Only feet.
I'm not even on social media, much less that awful.
Oh. Well, how do you live if you don't have an OnlyFans?
I'm just trying.
He's a blue-collar man. He drives a truck, and he won't let that get him down.
Yeah.
Well, you could eat buttered scones with a fine preserve while wearing a dicky bow in your Y-fronts. Maybe that's something you could do as an OnlyFans a special English gentleman OnlyFans, or maybe you could poop on balloons while screaming soliloquies.
I'm not sure how anti-Semitic I'm allowed to be on your show, so I can't really comment on OnlyFans on here.
Okay. Well, I would say I will dial you up to whatever you want to be, right. And you go for it. And if you get me banned from a platform, well, we shall celebrate, my friend. Are you ready to finish off Scott just as I like?
This is a very sexually charged show.
Yeah. Oh, for me it is, because I'm on with you two. Welcome to the Wall of Dystopia. This round would be the bog standard true or false round if it wasn't for AI's constant lies. Sometimes it tells the truth and sometimes it can't do that, Dave. It'll be our contestants' jobs to set the record straight if they think it needs to be, or to guess what AI wants you to believe on behalf of their establishment masters. So first up is Scott. Scott, this is honestly, everybody's got kind of a hard wall of dystopia since I've begun the show. Maybe I'll make it easier eventually, but your choice. You can choose at the moment from Brexit, Kroll. No one chooses Kroll. Pavel Durov, 7/7 bombing, Ted Bundy, or Jesus was a Jew?
I'm tempted to do Jesus was a Jew because I have a lot of opinions on this, but I think I'm going to go, to be safe, I think I'm going to go Ted Bundy.
Okay, that's good. Okay, Scott, here we go. 18 true or false questions about Ted Bundy. Some of these may be easy and some of them may be a bit tricksy. So let's see. Do you know much about Ted Bundy?
I know a bit about Ted Bundy. I'm an avid enjoyer of the Dave McGowan book, Program to Kill, and I thoroughly enjoyed the lengthy chapter on Ted Bundy.
Beautiful.
Several times read it, by the way.
I thought you were going to say I'm an avid fan of Ted Bundy.
No.
Wow.
I'm an avid fan of the Young Republicans Club. And
we'll get
not a question on the thing. Yeah.
Or maybe it is. Maybe. Well, we'll see. Here we go. Ted Bundy was born in Florida.
False.
Okay. That's correct. False. You know, by any chance, where he was born?
It's the Pacific Northwest somewhere, or it's the Midwest, perhaps. But I think it was the Pacific Northwest, maybe Washington or something.
Well, you got to make your decision.
I'm going to guess Oregon. I'm going to guess Oregon.
Oh, you went to Oregon. You went straight across. No, it's Vermont, so you don't get
interesting. Okay, he's a New Englander. I'm upset to hear this.
But
again, I will say this, Truth Bomb, Ted Bundy's history is very fraught with inconsistencies, and by the way, and he was kind of like, in my opinion, he was something of an operative in a system of wet work and CIA sort of associated enterprises, and it makes sense to me that he would be all over the country in his line of work.
Some of his work was truly fascinating work. Again, you are quite right to do quotation marks there. Bundy, next question. Bundy confessed to over 30 murders.
Confessed. I'm going to say true. Now, I will truth bomb.
Okay, well, I can tell you the answer is true, so that's correct. Go on.
Truth bomb away. I think you took the dive for several that he did not himself commit.
Oh, that's I never even thought about that. That one made parts of my body intrigued. So go on. Do you want to expand on that at all?
Well, I just in the Dave McGowan Program to Kill sort of narrative is it's sort of the idea is that there's the big name, big marquee serial killers we all know, John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer. All these guys are fall guys for usually a unit of guys who are, generally speaking, they're doing like assassinations and wet work stuff. Sometimes they're facilitating drug trafficking, which is, by the way, why you'll see a lot of serial killer activity is centered in Florida, Texas, and California, being that those are the three main hubs of drugs in the United States. But also the other thing is the other thing they usually do is they create snuff films and they facilitate human trafficking.
Well, of course, why not mix up all of their businesses into one branded Bundy business? Of course. Excellent. Right. You get an extra truth bomb point for that, and you were correct. It's as to over 30 murders. Okay. Bundy always used a gun to kill his victims.
That is false. I believe he strangled several women, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's true. It is false. He did tend to use blunt objects or strangulation. That was his go-to for doing these crimes. Okay, next question. Bundy escaped from custody twice.
I know he definitely did one. I'm going to say yes. I'm just going to say true, he did. But the second time, he famously escaped prison while he was awaiting trial he vaulted a truth bomb. So yes, first of all, give me the answer.
Correct.
Okay. Truth bomb, he actually fully escaped custody in a pretty mysterious manner in which he supposedly vaulted a wall that was I don't know, he's kind of a small guy. He's not really he was somewhat athletic, but he was kind of short, kind of my height. So I kind of doubt that the story is authentic, and I have a feeling they let him out.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's worth an extra truth bomb. I can't imagine how he vaulted because he always had a cast on his arm. Anyway, Bundy escaped from custody twice. He worked at a suicide hotline.
I believe that is a factual story. Yes.
True. It's correct.
True.
Yes, he did work at a suicide hotline.
I wonder if he encouraged people to kill themselves.
I know. I think he probably did, didn't he? He probably did. Or at least to get into the back of the van. Or maybe even just to put the lotion on its skin, or it gets the hose again.
Let's get the hose again, yeah.
Yeah. We all know that's good advice to give any woman in a hole. Bundy only targeted...
in a hole.
Yeah, but it's well known for being dry in holes. Bundy only targeted blonde women.
False. He targeted all kinds of women.
Yeah, okay, you're quite correct. This is AI, of course. They said victims varied in appearance. That's what they said. He may have even, I don't know if this is true, but he may have even strangled ginger women. But we can talk about that.
I think. Well, here's the thing with Truth Bomb. It's not a Truth Bomb. I'm just kidding. But it's a fact that this is not really. This is why it isn't a Truth Bomb. But obviously, people who kill for profit, like I believe Bundy to have done, they do not select. They're not selective about who they kill. It's money.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you completely. Right, Bundy only targeted blonde women. That was the last one. Sorry, he was married during his trial.
I know a lot of women asked him to marry him, but I think false.
Okay, it's true. You've got one wrong there. You can already see that you're a competitive fella. You like to be right. No, he did get married during his trial. Okay, Bundy used a fake cast to lure victims.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, I kind of gave it away earlier as well.
True, but also, it's the basis of the character. You mentioned the character you alluded to, Buffalo Bill. He was like,
Is this a truth bomb?
No, it's not. I'm just saying.
Are you sure?
Well, I just think. It's not just saying. It's a piece of film trivia. That they based that?
I like a man who says, no, that's too much of a factoid for me to get points. I refuse the points. I think I respect that. I respect that about you. Okay. He was a Democrat.
False. He was definitely he was the president of the Young Republicans Club. If I'm not mistaken.
Looked like the type. Yeah. Yes, and everybody knows. Republican. It's basically most men are Republican, and female Republicans are victims. Republican men.
I think all people who identify as a political party are a victim. Frankly.
Yeah. I was getting there logically in my brain. It was coming. Bundy's car was a Volkswagen Beetle, possibly the best car ever made.
You think so? The Volkswagen.
The Volkswagen Beetle. They were beautiful.
I want to say he had like a Volkswagen minibus, but you know what? That sounds right. I'm gonna say yes, it is.
Oh, you can see him traveling down the road in his Volkswagen Beetle.
I'm gonna say true on that one.
Okay, it's true. It's true. He did have the best car ever made.
And people punched each other when they saw him driving by.
You know
that? Do they not have that in the UK?
No.
There's a game we have in America called Punch Buggy. When you see a guy seeing someone drive one, you punch the first person who sees it, points it, punch buggy, punches the other person in the car.
Oh, I wish we had this game. It would have punched so many people. I loved games like that where I got to punch people. Oh, right. Okay. He acted as his own lawyer in court.
That's true for sure. He and also he apparently did okay.
Yeah. I think he got warned on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, he's not.
But he played it. He played it. That's for sure. He played the part. He was born Theodore Robert Cowell.
Uh, but sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt you. That probably, but I'm just gonna say I'm looking at our private chat right now, and both Russell and William both said we have a different game where you punch people with yellow cars.
All right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Well, there you
So,
go.
ask the question again. I'm sorry. I was just behind the comments.
He would stop looking at the private chat. They might give you.
Sorry.
William might be feeding you the answers. I don't know why he would. That wouldn't make any sense. But these are the rules. He was born Theodore Robert Cowell.
Robert Cowell. Well, I don't know his birth name, but I'm going to use logic here. I'm going to say that if he's a serial killer, he probably has a fake name. So I'm going to say true.
Ah, it is true. Yes, Ted Bundy was born Theodore Robert Cowell. Bundy's mother claimed he was her brother initially.
That is true. That's one of those. Yeah, his mother was pregnant from outside of wedlock, and he was raised by his grandmother.
Yep. Excellent. That is is there any truth bombs in there?
Truth bombs there. Oh, I assume that he was sexually molested, being at a broken home like that, which probably leads to him becoming a serial killer.
Well, that's a kind of a spurious claim, but I like it. So let's give you a truth bomb.
I think it's in the book. For the record.
No, it's fair. It's fair. You can. That's acceptable. I'm happy to do this. He proposed to a girlfriend in court.
Okay, I don't know that detail, but I'm gonna just guess yes. True.
It is true. It is true. God, he was a man, wasn't he?
He was a ladies' man.
Oof, yeah, I mean, it's really hard to get a lady once you're sitting trial for serial murder.
You think that, but I don't think it's true. I think ladies love guys who are on trial for murder.
Oh, well, maybe that's the way I should go. It's like, that is literally raising your body count.
Yeah, for sure. In more ways than
multiple ways. Yeah, in multiple ways. Okay. Bundy's execution was televised.
I want to say that no executions are televised, so false.
You're quite right. No executions. Well, I'm some may. There may be one or two.
But yeah, that was a big propaganda, though.
It was, yeah. I watched it a couple of times. I did enjoy it. But
I downloaded it off of LimeWire. I remember.
Oh, wow. Classic. Old school. That is really old school.
You're right. Williams in the chat here. Colonel Gaddafi also televised.
Oh, hey, don't. He's not supposed to be feeding you truth bombs. I told you. You shouldn't have your opponent helping you score points.
I can't promise
that doesn't make sense. No, I don't mind any of this, really. This corruption galore. No, it was false. Bundy's execution wasn't televised. He was a vegetarian. You know this to be so. Surely you know this to be so. You can tell by his whole nature. I don't think
so. I'm going to say false.
It is false. I was tricking you. That was a trick. I shouldn't have got involved like that, but I felt, okay, you got two more left.
We know that only the best people on Earth are vegetarians, particularly ones who are in charge of countries in World War II.
Yeah. I love the fact. He loved dogs too. That man loved dogs. The dog lover vegetarian that we're talking about. You know, when vegetarians claim to be sane. Anyway, Bundy killed a 12-year-old girl in Florida.
Oh, I don't know the details of every single one of his murders, but I'm just going to guess. I mean, it sounds like something he'd do. True.
It does sound like something he'd do. And it is true, which kind of like that, you know, with Ted Bundy, there's so much so silly. And then you just get down to the brass tacks. Like, he killed a 12-year-old girl in that's just insane.
Big money. Okay, if you're into that kind of video.
Yeah, indeed. As Dutroux might have also known in Belgium. I think they were doing roughly the same thing.
Adam Starchild. That's a whole rabbit hole. I don't know if you've gone down.
Yeah, I haven't gone down there, but it sent shivers down my spine. Okay, one left for you now. Bundy was diagnosed with schizophrenia?
They like to do this thing. I'm going to say true.
Okay, it's false. It's false. AI tricking you like a dirty, rotten computer would. Yeah, in actual fact, he was diagnosed, but he was diagnosed with personality disorders rather than schizophrenia. So it's a little bit of a semantic.
Is it
one,
schizoid personality disorder? Because I might, I mean, is it true or false question?
There's no such thing as half points in Truth Bomb. There's only fails or supreme success and vegetarian furors. So anyway,
very
he
Nietzsche.
did well. Yeah, this is the way to be. William, my friend, you are left with either Brexit, Kroll Inc., the arrest of Pavel Durov, 7/7 bombings, or Jesus was a Jew. Which one do you think you'll pick?
I think I'm going to have to pick Brexit because I completely stopped paying attention to current events after that. So the Pavel Durov thing, I don't really know anything about.
Yeah, that's a bit of a hard one. To be perfectly honest,
Jesus was a Jew. I'll end up in prison.
Well, I'm not sure. I think really someone should go with Jesus was a Jew because a lot of it is just properly. We all already know he was actually. I don't know if you know this. He was king of the Jews. So there you go. Okay, William, we got 18 true or false questions. You can think about these things, answer in your own time. You can add in a truth bomb. Remember, it's AI who sets the official narrative. Remember to keep that in your mind. And you will be answering questions on Brexit, which is I like this. Okay. The Brexit referendum was held on June 23rd, 2016.
I was going to say true. It was in 2016.
Yeah, indeed. Do you remember any details of that time? Because that was crazy times in Britain. I mean, everybody was against each other.
Yeah, I remember it. I mean, not around here, they weren't. Everybody was in favour of Brexit around where I live, like up here in Yorkshire. Apart from school teachers and the like. But I mean, truth bomb on that, on the actual referendum itself. The whole thing of ever since the referendum, it's been they lied about the Leave side lied. They said that it'd save all this money and do all that and do all the other, but it completely overlooks the fact that that's not their fault. They weren't in power. It wasn't an election. It was implemented by the side who were against it. So of course they're not going to do things in a way that backs up the winning side.
The total whitewash afterwards, wasn't it?
It never happened anyway, really.
Yeah. So you'll get a truth bomb for that. I think everybody who accepts reality at home will agree with you that it was a fit up in the end.
Yeah.
The UK officially left the European Union on January the 31st, 2019. Watching the whirring in your brain. It whirry round it like it is insane.
January 2019. Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I believe that to be the case because
The false is a false. The UK left on January 31st, 2020.
Oh, right.
After delays, 2019 was the original target under Article 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
And talking about truth bomb.
Yeah.
Talking about lying. Which side was lying? David Cameron and whoever the Chancellor was at the time.
George Osborne.
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Both said, in order to scare us, that if the result went against them, they would immediately invoke Article 20 the following morning, and it didn't happen for another 4 years. So it was lying, and they did have the power to do that.
Yep, they did have the power. That's a good truth bomb. That's adding a little bit of understanding to it. That's what we like here.
That's
on
the thing.
Truth
How
Bomb.
the media relies on you not remembering what happened yesterday, or not remembering what they told you happened yesterday. They're just like, okay, well, yeah, that was yesterday. Now it's today. We've altered reality now. Idiot.
Yeah, he who controls the past controls the present.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, next one. The Chequers plan proposed by Theresa May aimed to keep the UK in the EU single market for goods.
Well, I would call that the 4D chess plan. Never mind the checkers plan.
Well, you can go on for that one, but what do you think the answer is?
Say it again.
So the Chequers plan proposed by Theresa May aimed to keep the UK in the EU single market for goods.
Will Theresa suck my cock? She may.
Father, of course, helped him.
She was definitely extremely pro EU. Yeah.
Indeed. Her father was the man who was working alongside serial killer Dr. John Bodkin Adams, as I've written as well about. Very interesting. Eastbourne Hospital when he killed 130 plus people. Boris Johnson voted against Theresa May's Brexit deal in Parliament every time it was presented.
That's a tricky one because he's a slippery customer. He was definitely like, it was not all that long before the vote that he actually flipped and decided he was in favor of Brexit or in favor of Brexit.
I can tell you there were 3 votes.
Yeah. And I think he just decided that it was his path to becoming Prime Minister and Winston Churchill was to be on the pro-Brexit side. And so that very Churchillian move, in fact. He just thought, well, what political stance should I take that's going to end up with me being Prime Minister? I'll do it. And so, yeah, extremely Churchillian.
What do you think the answer is, though?
I think the answer is no, he didn't, because he's a faggot.
Yeah, so you think false?
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnson supported it on the 3rd vote after opposing it twice earlier for show, obviously. And what you were saying there, did you want to add that in as a truth bomb? I mean, this is the order of the game.
Truth bomb.
You think that was Boris Johnson's attempt to pave his way to being Prime Minister? Yeah. Yeah,
he's obsessed with Churchill. That's why he likes to get wars going. But like most British people are like kind of fooled into what being Churchill. They have a mistaken idea of what being Churchillian is, whereas Boris Johnson clearly doesn't. It's owing loads of money to truth bomb. It's owing loads of money to the Rothschilds. It's starting senseless wars. It's destroying you. It's being complicit in the destruction of your own culture. And all that other genuinely Churchillian stuff. I mean, truth bomb.
Go on. This is 3 truth bombs. There's a lot of truth bombs. Go on.
I'm gonna. This
is how truth bomb works. Once you realise what it is.
Truth bomb. You go like Churchill was complicit in basically trying to genocide the German people after World War One, because they had this naval blockade during World War One, where they decided, Churchill said, "Oh, well, we can't have a close blockade in the Baltic. We've got to do it up in Scapa Flow, around the northern approaches," which is stupid anyway. So they were allegedly trying to stop stuff coming over from America and whatnot into neutral countries that could then be sold on to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
But every single ship that they stopped got sent to, instead of just the Admiralty Court on the spot condemning them and seizing the products or whatever, they got sent to this other Admiralty Court on the mainland, where every single load that they stopped got passed and cleared to go on to Sweden or wherever to get Germany. And then it was only after the war that they got a real blockade in the Baltic and nothing could get through, and hundreds of thousands of people starved to death.
That is listen, I am going to give you for all of that extra information you've added there over the past 3 truth bombs you just gave. I'm going to give you an extra 2 points on top of the answer. Here we go. Come on, let's go to the next one. No, the European Court of Justice ruled in 2018 that the UK could unilaterally revoke Article 50.
Could revoke it.
Yeah. The European Court of Justice ruled in 2018 that the UK could unilaterally revoke Article 50.
What's Article 50? I thought it was Article 20 was what got you out.
No, I think Article 50.
Is it? All right. Well,
been a while. There was a lot happened in between. Huh.
Well, I'm going to say, yeah, it obviously clearly can, just like the southern states.
Yeah, true.
Legally could secede from the Union. Truth bomb. The southern states had a perfect legal right to secede from the Union in the United States. It's just, fortunately, Europe doesn't have it didn't need military means to stop us from leaving. They just
no. But then you're playing the bureaucratic game that comes with these type of
all it
entities, isn't it?
They made it so that effectively we are de facto in the Union, but we have the only things that have changed are things just to make it a bit more difficult for English people to do what they want to do, which for some bizarre reason they're obsessed with going on holiday abroad. So that's just a punishment. So we're still in it, but we're being punished.
Yeah, most definitely. It was in this case, it was the Whiteman case, which confirmed that they could revoke Article 50. The next one, Nigel Farage was a member of the European Parliament during the Brexit referendum campaign.
I'm going to say true.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, truth bomb. I've had dinner with Nigel Farage.
You had a what?
I've had dinner with Nigel Farage.
Was it? What did you eat? I'm really interested now to know what.
I can't really remember.
Was it the blood of the innocent?
I'll tell you what Nigel ate. Nothing.
Go on. Really?
Nothing,
oh, he looks the type.
Yeah, he was caning ciggies and pissed.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because he does like to have a drink. Doesn't go as a truth bomb though. I like it, but it doesn't go as a truth bomb. So you get 1 point there.
Well,
yeah.
Look, that's my role on the show. Is I've got the homespun anecdotes.
Doesn't work here on truth bomb. No, some of them do. Okay, next one. The Brexit Party, led by Nigel Farage, won the most seats in the 2019 UK general election.
That's clearly not true. They did, though. Again, it's another anecdote, so I won't claim it as a truth bomb.
You can try, though.
Truth bomb. I used to actually talk to my MP, my local MP, regularly, and so, again, he was another one. He thought Brexit was a bad idea but then he was on the Leave side in the referendum, right? But beforehand, it's party line bullshit, and because UKIP did win the most seats from the UK in the previous European election.
Mm-hmm.
They actually came in first place in that in England, in the UK.
So it was a big signal.
Yeah, I mean, I said to as I said to my former MP, who I won't name, I says, "There you go, pal. That's your referendum."
Yep. But unfortunately, that's not the way it works. Let's go. Let's keep going now. Let's keep going. We got a lot to go through. The slogan "Get Brexit Done" was coined by Theresa May during her premiership.
That sounds so right. Yeah, I can hear her saying it. True. Yeah.
No, it's false.
Is
it was Boris Johnson's 2019 election campaign slogan. Okay, the UK paid a divorce bill to the EU estimated at 39 billion as part of the withdrawal agreement.
I doubt it. I think that's false.
No, it's true.
It's
true. It was, the divorce bill was 39 billion. The financial settlement covered prior commitments, though the exact amount varies in its estimate. In different estimates, but it's about that.
Well, it's anything to truth bomb. It's absolutely anything to fuck over the British people. That's what
I'll accept that as a truth bomb.
Anything that the British, and this is a problem that I had with supporting Brexit, was that I think the British government is even worse than they are. But like, I'd rather just have one of them than both of them.
Yeah, and something that's closer to home, not globalism. Thank you very much.
I don't want to have to get on a flipping ferry and to go and riot with a pitchfork and fire and stuff.
Yeah, me neither. Though I always like ferry journeys. The UK rejoined the European Free Trade Association, EFTA, after Brexit.
I stopped consuming news immediately after Brexit.
It was a good time to stop consuming news.
No, I don't think it was admitted into the EFTA.
So you say false, no?
Yeah,
it's false. You're correct.
Because it's like that's Switzerland and Norway and that, isn't it? And they're such lick spittles to Europe that they didn't want to. Probably the British government didn't want them to let them in anyway. But so we'll apply it, and you just tell us to fuck off.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to truth bomb. They wanted this narrative that it's impossible. I mean, just an example. I know a few people who do business with Ireland, and like clearly the Irish, there's like trade difficulties with Ireland are clearly manufactured, because you've never needed a passport to travel between England, the United Kingdom, and Ireland ever before either of them was in the EU, and goods have always passed freely between them. But now they're so cooked to the EU that they've had to make it difficult for British imports. Now, the company I work for was our producer's Irish, and he says, "Oh, the company you work for, William, is a massive retailer, and it's closing down all its stores in Ireland." It never happened as it happens, because I think when something like that happens, they just go, "Oh, all this, how we've been making your life difficult. Yeah. If you're gonna make 100,000 people unemployed, we'll knock it on the head."
Mm-hmm. That's a good truth. Hey, you're giving good information on top as well.
And my truth bomb that I did on that I was going around yakking on about all the time at the time was, look, there's no incentive for Ireland to punish England. There's no incentive for England not to punish Ireland. Like I said, they've always traded with each other, freely and allowed free movement. Even during that's a brilliant truth bomb. Even during the Troubles, there was no restrictions on movement.
People just don't realize that the restrictions are manufactured by the people who want to control. So in many different ways.
A good example of it is we went. My daughter and I, little Emma Dina and I, took our little puppy camping in Ireland, and I had to get all this paperwork for him, and nobody looked at it. But
Yeah.
And so I got into Ireland when nobody ever looked at it. I thought, oh, that's a waste of money. But I bet I need it to get back into England because England is such a bunch of you-know-whats. And we got off the ferry at Milford Haven or wherever it was. Milford. There were very few like middle-aged, attractive women in that town, strangely enough.
I can confirm that Milford Haven doesn't have any attractive women. It
doesn't have any MILFs.
Yeah. Nice though.
Yeah, there
wasn't in the summer.
There wasn't even anybody on duty in the customs shed. The ferry just disgorged itself out into the docks, and there was nobody at work there. It was just just go home.
No one wants to argue with people coming from Ireland. That would be crazy. Anyway, right. Okay, next one. The Trade and Cooperation Agreement, TCA, between UK and EU was signed on December 24th, 2020.
Ooh. That's true. I don't know.
Yeah, true. It is true. Go straight on to the next one. We've got to get through some of these. Scotland voted overwhelmingly to remain in the EU in the 2016 referendum.
True.
Do you for an extra point? Do you know what the can you get within let's say 4% of the Scottish Remain vote?
Oh, it would have been 68.
Oh, 62.
Oh.
So you were just 2 away. Oh wow. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Well, there was a big urban rural split in that vote. But I mean that truth bomb. That's another set of bullshit referendums in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, like this whole devolved power and Scotland still being part of the Union when clearly it culturally doesn't want to be. Like I've long been I'm always a proponent of making big structures smaller and decentralization of power. I think Scotland ought to be independent, and I mean I don't think anybody should be in the EU, but if they want to be, that's up to them, isn't it? Who cares?
Yeah, spot on. Okay, let's give you an extra point for calling for freedom, as William Wallace would say. There you go. The House of Lords blocked the triggering of Article 50 in 2017.
There was something about that, wasn't there? Yeah. I'm going to say true.
No, it's false. They amended the bill, but ultimately it passed.
Right.
Okay, next one. The DUP, Democratic Unionist Party, supported Theresa May's Brexit deal in all parliamentary votes.
I'm going to say false because of the word all.
Yeah, good.
I think
nice.
she relied
well
on
done.
She relied on them to get it through, but they got their pound of flesh out of her first.
Yeah, it's false. The DUP opposed it, particularly over the Irish backstop, collapsing her majority in actual fact, which was a very slim majority. I mean, that was some of the worst prime ministership that we've seen in British history, that's for sure. Okay, we've got a few left, 4 left here. The UK held a second referendum on Brexit in 2019 to confirm the withdrawal agreement.
False.
Yeah, false. No second referendum occurred, despite campaigns for a people's vote.
Yeah.
Which was the referendum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next one. The Brexit referendum had a higher voter turnout than any UK general election since 1992.
True.
Yeah, true. Turnout was
and a bigger majority of votes as well.
Yeah. Okay. I want you to get within
truth bomb. It was also a big.
No, that's a bit of a factoid, so I'm not going to give that. But I will give you on this. You can get within 4% of the turnout for the Brexit referendum. Then you will And you could choose just to go with 68% again. Maybe that'll be a winning figure.
Well, it's in the 60s somewhere. I'm going to say 65%.
No, you're far away. 72.2%.
72. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, it was the biggest, the highest.
That's astronomical.
It made you poop yourself. It was so big, it almost made you poop yourself. There you go.
That's astronomical, isn't it, in terms of Western democracies nowadays?
Yep. Jean-Claude Juncker, as European Commission president, opposed any Brexit deal with the UK.
True, and truth bomb. He was drunk when he did it.
Well, it's false. Juncker supported the deal, though he was critical of Brexit itself. But I'll give you an extra point for saying that he was drunk when he did it, because whatever he did, he was drunk when he did it.
Yeah, he was always drunk,
Yeah. So, okay.
Truth bomb, it was really... I credit him... Because if you remember, back at the time, my brother, elder brother, was very involved in Brexit stuff. He was like a donor to UKIP. And that's how come I had dinner with Nigel Farage. And it's not. It's also because I'm in the CIA, obviously, Scott. But there was this false flag murder that happened in Leeds, and it was just. I think it was my brother's. Would have been his. I don't know, 80th birthday or something like that. Weird family, and he had this big garden party. And all these UKIPers there, and they were all so forlorn because it was this. It basically it was like this MP for Leeds had got gunned down in the street by this loony who'd said something about Brexit while he was doing it. Right, and we're like, oh, well, that's it, game's over. And it was a major media op to derail the Brexit momentum. But really, I think what counterbalanced that was the intervention of Claude Juncker and Barack Obama, who really got people's backs up with being the corporatist technocrats that they are, and people didn't like that.
Yeah, good. Okay, I'll give you an extra point for that. Why not? Anything that you got to throw in Barack Obama as well, and you're talking about the Joe Cox assassination or not.
That's right, Joe Cox. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I said some dumb bitch, and it was close enough.
I would risk getting this deleted by saying people should go look at Richard D. Hall's work on that case. It's very interesting. He's a very interesting man. And last one, then, the UK lost its MEPs, members of European Parliament, immediately after the 2016 referendum.
I'm going to say that's false because I think they got to sit out until the next election.
You are very good. You used your logic, my friend.
Legal training.
Come out on top. Do you want to?
It was studying EU law that made me so rabidly anti-EU.
Yeah, that is very interesting that they turned people against.
Yeah, I'm quite up on their constitutional law.
Yeah,
well, as it was in the 90s, anyway. When I studied
we had Graham H. Moore of the English Constitutional Society on Truth Bomb last week. So you are in with friends here.
I mean, Truth Bomb. You know, all elections in liberal democracies are just like a fig leaf, but it's even more so in the EU. The EU Parliament has no power at all. It can't propose or veto legislation. It's just a talking shop. And like, for instance, when the Tobacco Products Directive came out, it was in the Parliament in consultation. It's a consulting body, right? The Commission proposes the legislation, and the Council of Ministers can veto it, so could the Commission. So, but obviously, it's not going to because it proposed it, and the European Parliament doesn't do anything. It doesn't have any power at all to do anything. And so the Tobacco Products Directive is a great example of this. They brought that in. The Commission proposed it. The Parliament discussed it, and they altered it and did this and did that and came up with all these compromises and blah, blah, blah. And then it went back to the Commission, and the Commission just said, nah, and they just sent it to the Council of Ministers as they'd written it in the first place, and it got passed. That's it. It's absolute perfect demonstration that the European Parliament has got no power, and there's not even in its own terms. It's literally just a sinecure for failed politicians.
That is a good way to end that round with a final truth bomb. Thanks for that. Excellent. And so, how was that round for you, Scott?
It was good. William, subtly revealed that he was a CIA asset again. I appreciate
Suspicious.
the candidity.
Candidity. I love it. The candidity of him. Yes. Is that really a word?
I don't know. I didn't go to college.
I like it. Okay, that's good. So what's a better description of your character between the two? Are you more of a hot to trot, squat thrusting, potty trotter Scotty, or are you a more of a not spotting, thought slotter Scotty McCock warbler? What would you describe yourself as?
I would say I'm a hip, debonair example of the youth, in touch with youth culture, and right at the tip of the spear for all online meme discourse, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Are you mentally superior to William?
No, man, we're all brothers.
Okay, I agree with that. Mostly all brothers, except some of us vary in color and size and genetic superiority, but still we're all brothers.
Nobody's perfect.
No one's perfect. Look at Bill Gates. So if you could see William murdered brutally by one of the four tops, which one would it be?
The four tops, meaning the guys who sing the songs, the four tops, yeah.
yeah, the four tops. Which top
or
would
the
you
four
choose?
tops? Are we talking like Andrew Tate? Or no, I'm sorry, I thought you said four bottoms. My bad.
I like it. Who comes out on top with Tate? Oh, it's the bottoms. Always the bottoms. So you talking there about? I mean, your special subject round was about Bundy and serial killers and the like. What do you think? Like the misconceptions are about Bundy case that people at home may want to know for extra truth bomb points too?
Okay. I guess. Well, I was wrong about. I'll say this. Maybe not specifically Bundy, but if you look into like, any of these serial killers, you'll find that most of them underwent psychiatric care in some sort of what's it called? Some sort of facility that is like associated with the CIA or with the military. Oh, one note thing of Ted Bundy, actually, for extra truth bomb points, is one of his most avid chroniclers is this woman named Anne Rule, and if I'm not mistaken, she may have been so she basically made her bones as a journalist / true crime author, writing books about Bundy. And it's interesting that she knew Bundy the entire time he was committing murders. And I believe she worked with him at that suicide prevention hotline. It could be a different job, but she was like a coworker of Bundy's, and just so happens she's like the expert on his murders or whatever. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, that does. There's so much that I haven't explored in that case. Just wild. I'll give you an extra
Bundy is
point
not
for
my
that.
my main guy. I know a lot more about Dahmer and Gacy.
Yeah. Well, they're all a bit spicy. And they all keep coming up in this because, of course, when you ask AI to give you certain like questions or answers, they always like to throw in the serial killers all over the place. What people are most interested in. I think it probably expresses people's want for that gore, right?
Yeah. Women love it. Women love serial killers.
Women love serial. I agree. William, you're hanging around with mud-blood Americans most of the time. Do you have any shame?
No.
Neither.
No.
So, go on.
I love Americans. Our audience is like 90% American right-wing gun nuts. So
what do you think?
they're all right by me.
Because you're over here in Blighty with me, you're in Britain with me. Even though it's different all around the country, it's basically the same in many different ways. What type of reaction do you find the same as me, that basically no one has a clue what's going on really in Britain, that it's like fundamentally the majority of people
I'm
stuck
actually
in a bubble?
a little bit surprised. There's many different levels, but I think what you'll find, I certainly hide my power level in public. Nobody knows what I think outside the show, and nobody I know in real life knows I've got a show, apart from one or two. And yeah, there's a few. I'm surprised how many people are at various different points on the spectrum of being a conspiracy nut. I mean, of course, a lot of them are sort of what's the word for it? Siphoned off into these, dead ends, like whatever. It's I don't know what it's the Chi-coms, but I think even that whole Chi-coms thing hasn't really caught on. I don't think people really do think it's China that we need to be scared of. I think that one's kind of failed.
It's hard to break through to people. Hard to expect. I find it more so in Britain than America.
I don't want to go mental, so I'm like, just it is what it is. And at the end of the day, I've made peace with it. That it doesn't matter what I think. I can't do anything about anything anyway. But
yeah, indeed. So just a question: who do you think has higher intelligence? And be honest with this: the average Chinese man or you?
Me.
Oh my God! I knew it would be. I knew it would be. That's good.
Well,
no, it's good.
Manners maketh the man. I don't spit in public.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
And
a lot of average Chinese spitting going on over there.
The average Chinese man is the guy in the Chinese restaurant, isn't he? And I mean, he's like a middle class, aspirational Chinese man.
Is there much difference between what the average British person knows about what's really going on and the average Chinese person?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't talk to Chinese people. I don't speak the lingo.
I purposely avoid them.
I don't speak the Ringo.
Oh, that was good. Maybe too good. That was that was legendary. Nice. Okay, so we talked about Brexit then, and we're talking about the UK. Do you see another psyop coming in the near future in the UK?
Well, a bloke in the pub. A bloke in the pub. This is literally my primary news source. Is the pub.
This could be a truth bomb point if it's good enough. Come on.
I go 2 or 3 times a week to the pub, and there's for a couple of pints, and there's a bloke who goes in there. He's got a beautiful old Rover, and his missus is something to do with the government, but he's. I think COVID red pilled a lot of people, and he's one of those people. Right? And I think from what I gather, is Mrs. works in public health in some way, and so I'm guessing that he's getting his information from her as well. And let's not forget, Truth Bomb. It was the NHS what actually did save us from compulsory jabs. Because if it hadn't been for the doctors and nurses saying no, fuck off, we'd have all been next on the chopping block.
I completely agree with you.
Anyway, so yeah, what's coming up is measles, according to this bloke, is what he says his wife's saying. Yeah,
that'd be interesting now to see if that because they're going to try something. They always try something.
Yeah,
right.
But like this whole Truth Bomb, this whole COVID thing, right? They've tried to. I don't know how old you are, Johnny, but I'm 54, and
I'm in my early 20s.
Right. They've tried to do that COVID thing every 4 or 5 years since the 80s.
Yes,
at least.
yes.
I
I've
can
written about a load of it in Porton Down's Ideological Cloud. You can go back many years, so back to the turn of the 1900s. They're really enjoying.
Well,
doing
yeah,
it
the
then.
first the Spanish flu was the same thing, wasn't it?
Mhm. So in the first round, the Wall of Dystopia round, Scott scored 15 normal points, had 4 truth bombs, and had 1 corruption point for a beetle punch. That came to a total of 20. And William had 12 normal points, 10 truth bombs, 2 BPs, 1 extra, 1 corruption point from Milford Haven. He gets a 26. So 26-20 at the end of that round.
Truth bomb.
Go
Measles
on.
is only growing in one demographic in the United States.
All right.
Orthodox Jews.
Oh, those Orthodox Jews.
Right, that needs
I've
sorting,
always
doesn't
said they're measles. No, that's not the word I used.
it? So it doesn't. I thought you were going to say a different demographic, and you were going to say that it proves that it gets spread by throwing feces.
No, it's spread by circumcision sucking.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now seeing as we're talking about circumcision sucking, it seems like a perfect time on Truth Bomb to play the round.
That's why
I love
O.J.
so
Simpson.
much.
Sorry, that's why O.J. Simpson got off.
You
They
say,
thought O.J. stood for Orthodox Jew. So okay, give him a pass.
Oh, so his nickname is the Juice.
Yeah.
oh, it is true. It's all lining up, and he got away with it too. Okay, on this round of Truth Bomb, we're going to play a wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank. Indeed, in this round, I will be giving you infamous quote by an infamous person. However, I will be replacing one word in the quote with the word wank. All you have to do is guess the missing word. If any of our contestants gets an answer wrong, then the chance is handed over to their opponent for an extra point. Contestants can only truth bomb if they get the answer correct. In this round, we'll alternate, and William will go first. Are you ready to play wankety wank, gentlemen?
I don't, not really.
Here we go then, gentlemen. Wankety wank. The first one goes to William. William, there is no such thing as a free wank.
Lunch.
Is that your answer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's true. That's what it is. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Can you guess the person up here who said that on the old screen with these dazzly disco sheep?
All right, he said that, did he? Right.
Can I steal if he doesn't get it?
Yes, you will be able to if he doesn't get it. If you say it out loud, then he'll just steal it from you. Though, so be careful.
I always thought it was Groucho Marx or somebody who said that, but
that is definitely not Groucho Marx, unless that might be Grouchy Marx, and he cut off all of his hair because he's grouchy. That's the best I could do.
Is it Kissinger?
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I'm going to hand it over.
Can I steal?
You can attempt to steal this, yeah.
Okay, so it's a co-religionist of both Kissinger and Groucho Marx, but that would be one Milton Friedman.
Yeah, indeed, it's Milton Friedman. So you actually now, in this round, the way it works is going to work.
There's no such thing as a free lunch. Not in my deli.
Yeah.
Maybe free soup, but not lunch.
Okay, right. You get Scott. You get to steal the point from William that he got for a free lunch. You get the point for getting Milton Friedman. William gets a point for doing that impression. Though that was really special. I know you went on with an impression, but you've got too many points already, probably. There you
I think
go.
he's
Next
winning,
one.
but I accept your ruling.
This goes to Scott now. This next one. Here we go. And it's from this guy. There is nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and wank.
I'm gonna guess the word is right.
So you think let me just say this out loud for you. You think it's that this is a really good quote, and he said, "There is nothing to writing. All you have to do is sit down at a typewriter and write." That's the amazing quote, is it? I'm not sure this is the amazing quote that you're making it out to be. I will accept that as an answer, though, and say you are wrong. It's not right. Sorry about hurting your feelings.
I don't. I think this is a little bit inside England baseball for me.
Oh, really? This might be on this case, on this one.
might
Yeah,
be
you're still doing the best.
I don't even know who it is.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna guess it's like G.K. Chesterton or something.
what? That's a random guess out of the. I'm gonna guess it's G.K. Dead because of all the blood-covered sheep. Of course, it's got to be. That's gonna be.
Well, he's a writer.
William, my friend, William.
I'm gonna guess. All you have to do is sit down at a typewriter and pray.
Oh, you're a bit close. It's a hard one. There's nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed. It's
right.
Ernest Hemingway. So neither of you get that one. This goes back back across to William. Here we go. Don't say the name out loud, Scott. If you will already probably recognize who that is. The advantage of a bad wank is that one enjoys several times the same good things.
The advantage of a bad
wank. I like saying following it off so it distracts people again. Yeah, the advantage of a bad wank is that one enjoys several times the same good things.
So it's got to be German to be talking with grammar like that.
Yeah, you're quite right.
The advantage of a bad wank is that you enjoy several times the same good things. Lunch.
No, that's not what the answer was. I'm going to hand it over to Scott. Scott, can you guess?
It's obviously Friedrich Nietzsche.
Well, you can have a point for that, but only if you get the word.
I don't know this quote, actually. I'm going to guess it's... Go
on.
I'm going to take a guess here. So read the question with the quote one more time.
The advantage of a bad wank is that one enjoys several times the same good things.
The advantage of a bad thought?
Wank. No. Close though. It was memory. Neither of you get it. You don't get to have the.
He likes bad things, folks. What's with this guy? He's crazy.
He's crazy. Right. Okay. Here we go. Next one.
I wonder who this quote is from.
This is for you now, Scott, because you got to try and steal the last one. The climate crisis is not just about the environment. It's about wank.
I think I remember this quote. I believe it's about people.
Nope, you don't remember the quote. Handing it across. Back up, William.
Money.
No, the answer is justice. Is big bad Greta Thunberg. Well, at least you both suck. equally in that way. And she's there with the bloody sheep in the pool. There's a lot of bloody sheep around in this.
Uncle
this
Ted's
one.
pen pal here, by the by.
Really?
Supposedly, that's what I'm told.
Oh, I can imagine those gruesome letters. Okay, right, and here we go. This is for William
what
now.
Is that?
What is that? What is it? William, change starts when we stop waiting for someone else to wank.
Change starts when we stop waiting for someone else to act.
Oh, he does it! Do and who is it that is standing in amongst those evil, satanic-looking sheep?
Indira Gandhi.
Oh no, this could be an opportunity here for Scott to steal. Go on, Scott.
Ooh, as a matter of policy, I try not to remember any Indian women's names. But I'm gonna guess. Let's see.
I think they're hot.
Yeah, different strokes, man. Let's see. I don't know. Let's just say
it is hot in India.
Raja Pujita.
Is it?
Right. Go on, sorry, William.
It's that bird that got sliced up by her cousins and shit, isn't it?
Yeah, that should be a quote. It's that bird who got sliced up by her cousins and shit. This is why I love English. The English language. That's what it really is. It's Malala Yousafzai. So you get a point, William, for that. Oh, she's pretty famous. She goes around.
Is she the bird that got sliced up
getting cut up by her cousin? Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Who
is.
can forget
the
bird who got sliced up by her cousin and shit?
It's one of my favorites. I'm gonna have that put on the plaque. Put up outside my house. Okay. Here's the next one. This will be for you, Scott. Again, this will be for you.
Oh boy. At least Scott can do the voice.
Well, you'll have to repeat this in the voice here, there, Scott. You can't lead if you don't wank first.
Okay, so it's gonna be
Those sheep are really scary in this one. The one's got a real menacing bite.
You can't lead unless you don't rule first.
Oh, that was a tyrannical answer. Like that's what you. No, I'm passing it over to William.
Okay, can I make another guess?
No.
Lend.
William, over to you.
You can't lead if you don't start first.
Oh no, that is a true. That should be. You should get a point for that, really. But
that's an aphorism.
You can't lead if you don't listen first.
Says, what is this guy listen?
It's just one of the
truth bomb. This guy's never listened to anything except the demons on his shoulder saying, "Go get more coke."
Go get more coke. Listen, those demons though, they'll keep you partying with satanic sheep all night long. They're just terrible. Right, William, this is for you here. Every crisis is a chance to wank everything. I love this game. This is one of my favorite games. No. It's close though. You were right nearby.
Every crisis is a chance to.
Well, isn't it my chance to?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Every crisis is a chance to take everything.
I think a nose is the wrong shape for that.
I've never heard this. I've never heard this quote in my life. So
every crisis is a chance to rethink everything. It's kind of close to change, but it is rethink everything. It's Naomi Klein So the famous Naomi Klein.
Oh, I was on the
Oh,
right track
she must
then.
have had a nose job then. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And one last one here for you,
John
Scott.
Goodman?
Then, that's John Goodman. Which world were
Kenneth
you?
Branagh.
They're closer. The machine doesn't. The machine doesn't wank. That's still our job.
The machine doesn't.
This has been extremely hard. Oh, you're close again. You're close again, but no, William.
Rule.
Oh, again,
Can I take another swing?
Choice. Yeah, go on. Why not?
Create.
Oh, that's kind of a game. If you would imagine like mushing those two together that you chose, what would you come up with?
Conceive.
Yeah, well, it's Robert Redford, and it's the machine doesn't dream. That's still our job, which is still. What a shame.
If I'd known it was
very weird. But cool with the anti-Semitism, Rob.
And after the wankety wank round, Williams scored 2 points, 1 truth bomb, no extra points, 1 corruption point, for a total of 4. Scott scored 1 point, 2 truth bombs, 0 extra points, 2 corruption points, and a total of 6. So the scores are: Scott has 26, William has 30. So, William,
hello.
It's a specialist subject round now. Do you think you'll systematically eradicate Scott like he was a Jehovah's Witness in Hitler's Germany?
No.
No.
I don't know what my specialist subject is.
Well, let's find out then. Let's get this going on. I'm going to ask you 18 general knowledge questions generated by honest and truthful AI bot. Of course, you may sense a bit of outrageous bullshit, and you can earn extra points by setting the story straight, adding in a truth bomb along the way. Here we go. Let's go. Your specialist subject is the Milner Group surrounding and their relationship to World War One. What is the Milner Group originally known as, or what was the Milner Group originally known as before it became associated with Alfred Milner?
The Round Table.
Oh, no. Looking for the name. The answer is the Kindergarten, or which were a group of young administrators in South Africa.
Yeah.
In which year did Alfred Milner, well, this is a hard one, become High Commissioner for South Africa, setting the stage for his later influence?
$1893.
Ooh, 1897 is the answer. You can still add a truth bomb to any of these if you want to, if you think you
Truth bomb.
Yeah, go on.
It was a faggot.
Well, I'm not going to give you a point for that one, but I'm sure if you try it again, I might. What Round Table journal, founded by the Milner Group members, became that? This is a ridiculous question because it's actually said it in the question, but this is AI. Founded by Milner Group members, began publishing ideas that shaped British foreign policy. Can you imagine what it was called?
The Journal.
I'm going to give you a point for that. It's the Round Table Journal. It's actually AI has given you the answer within the question, which then makes you think it's not the answer. Quite crazy. Anyway, which war prior to World War One did the Milner Group use to test their imperial strategy?
The Boer War.
Yeah, the second war. Between. Do you know when the war started or ended for an extra point?
No, I'm not good on years. I know it started with the Jameson raid and all that. So truth bomb. The Boer War was started against express imperial policy, but it was like so Milner was like the global deep state OG that because they're right out in South Africa, they can do whatever they want. So they provoked this war with the Boers just because they could, and nobody could stop them. But it was absolutely against government policy,
Right.
imperial policy. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, that's a good truth bomb point you get for that. Which university was key recruiting ground for Milner Group members?
Oxford.
Yeah, most definitely Oxford. You can add anything you want.
Does it? What college was it?
Oh well,
Magdalen.
Magdalen. What about Magdalen? Is that the specific?
Yeah,
it's not specific college in Oxford that they were targeting.
Well, okay, they came from. I think it was Magdalen. It might have been.
Okay, well, I won't give a truth bomb point for that, no. but it's a good try. What secret society linked to the Milner Group was founded by Cecil Rhodes?
The Round Table.
No, this is the Society of the Elect.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, that's what they called it, isn't it?
Which Milner Group member served as a key advisor to the British government before the war?
Say that again.
Which Milner Group member served as a key advisor to the British government before the war?
Before which war?
Before World War One.
Before World War One. Well, loads of them did.
There was one in particular.
Repeat the question again.
Which Milner Group member served as a key advisor to the British government before the war?
I'm
going to give you the answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lionel Curtis. What 1911 crisis involving Germany and France might the Milner Group have used to push for British interventionism?
What between Germany and France?
What 1911 crisis involving Germany and France might the Milner Group? Go on.
Tunisia, wasn't it?
You remember what it was called?
No.
The Agadir crisis or Agadir crisis.
Agadoo.
Agadoo. I'll give you an extra point for saying Agadoo. Which Milner Group ally was prime minister during much of World War One?
Who was British prime minister during World War One? Asquith.
No. David Lloyd George.
Lloyd George, that's lovely.
Which Milner Group member helped?
I like having it off with women, innit?
Okay, right. You get an extra point for the Welsh accent there. Which Milner Group member helped coordinate war propaganda efforts?
W.T. Stead.
No, John Buchan or Buchan.
John Buchan.
Ah, there you go, Buchan. However you say it. Which American?
Well, W.T. Stead also did, but you know.
Yeah. Which American financier, friendly with the Milner Group, helped fund the Allied war effort?
Which American financier, friendly with the financier? Well, what's his name from Coon Loeb? Jacob Schiff.
No, J.P. Morgan.
All right.
What treaty negotiation in 1919 did Milner personally influence?
What treaty? Versailles.
Yeah, indeed, the Treaty of Versailles. Have you got any truth bombs on the Treaty of Versailles?
Well, the Treaty of Versailles is like the end of Western civilization. It is, I mean, there's a lot of talk about how Wilson was sort of hijacked, how Wilson didn't want it to turn out how it did.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's some truth in that. I mean, I can't remember who it was, but I've heard it. There's a school of thought that there's like European powers are not controlling America, but are definitely trying to influence, trick America into doing things and then fucking them over and that kind of thing. And that's clearly happening with Trump now.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll give you an extra point there because you are quite right there. Massive amount of British influence on American politics and society. We know there's lots of different groups around. I think groups.
There's this
Go on.
kind of I think in the elites, there's elites in America, or there's a certain faction of elites in America who think Europe's just fantastic because people sit outside drinking coffee and riding Vespas and stuff, and they think that's kind of cool. And Italian clothes are nice or whatever. And the Europeans think that too, but they're just the only way they can get they can bend this faction of American elite to their will by actually treating them with the utmost disrespect.
Yep. A lot of that. Right. Yeah. Okay. Next one. We keep going. What post-war organization did the Milner Group help inspire?
The United Nations.
Oh, what was it called post World War One?
Oh, post World War One. It was the League of Nations.
Yeah. Okay. Good. League of Nations, of course, where we know lots of superheroes like Spider-Man and the like helped rule the world. Which Milner Group associate shaped U.S. foreign policy post-war?
Which didn't. Would be a better question.
That's true.
Shaped U.S. foreign policy, Milner Group guy. I don't know who you'd be looking for.
Walter Lippmann.
Oh, Walter Lippmann. Yeah, I know about him. Yeah.
What economic which book did he write?
He's the guy that invented like the sort of artificial society, sort of they call it Lippmann gap, where it's a gap between what you can see with your own eyes and what the culture has manufactured for you to believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Truth bomb.
Yeah. I got you. Don't worry. What economic conference in 1922 did Milner influence to stabilize Europe? This is how AI put it. He was stabilizing Europe. They were all enemies, and he came along and he said, "Let's be friends."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So it was a new institution that started up in 1922.
Yeah, new institution. Milner wanted to influence that stability in Europe. What could go wrong? Come on, I need an answer.
It would be it's something to do with a bank.
Okay, I'm going to go on, and it's a Genoa conference. So,
all right, I've never heard of it.
What secret agreement in 1916? What secret agreement in 1916, possibly influenced by the Milner Group, this is AI, divided Ottoman lands? Know this one?
I don't know. We'll say Yalta, but that was World War II, wasn't it?
Divided Ottoman land. Drew a line in the sand.
Divided Ottoman. Oh, the Sykes-Picot Agreement.
Yes, correct. Sykes-Picot Agreement. Yeah.
It's not worth the paper. It's not worth the sand it's written on that, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. What German telegram in 1917 did the Milner Group likely exploit to sway American opinion?
Oh, there was some total fake and gay telegram that some German guy, I can't remember his name, well, Jew, obviously, sent.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, come on, the name is very Jewish.
Yeah.
You can't remember, no.
I'll just Jaime Goldstein. But he sent this telegram purporting to invite the Mexicans into an alliance against the United States. So they were going to send troops to Mexico to help invade California or whatever. It was clearly an absolutely clumsy op. And the bloke who was still in the German diplomatic corps at the time admitted that, oh, yeah, I sent that. So that just shows you how deeply ingrained that the British had spies everywhere, you know, and operatives everywhere. And that's just one blatant example of it.
Yeah, you get a point for that. It's called the Zimmerman telegram.
Zimmerman, that's it.
Officially, but yeah, he's definitely on the Jewish side of the fence, that's for sure. Last question in this round. Which battle's outcome might the Milner Group have influenced to protect Imperial supply lines? It's the hard one.
Oh, to protect Imperial supply lines. A battle.
Yeah. It even says the battle's outcome was influenced by the Milner Group.
Read the question again, please.
Which battle's outcome might the Milner Group have influenced to protect Imperial supply lines?
To protect Imperial supply lines. So that's going to be, I don't know, Battle of Jutland.
Oh, he does it. Battle of Jutland. Yes, he pulls it out of the bag. It is correct. There you go. Give me one last truth bomb that encapsulates the entirety of the Milner Group.
Cecil Rhodes had a dream in 1874. Woke up all covered in sweat in a dormitory in Oxford, whatever college it was, and he thought this Freemasonry is a good laugh, but we don't actually do anything. So I'm going to start up a tight coterie of gays in influential positions, and we're going to spread. It's basically it's ground zero of the global liberal empire project, and it moved its headquarters from Oxford to South Africa to London to Washington DC, which is where it's now headquartered. But if you know, people's like this trite idea that the British Empire came to an end after World War II, it's not true. It just moved. It's the same empire. It's not British anymore, but it's just it changed its name and its headquarters. That's all. Or whether it really changed its headquarters is debatable.
That's a good point to score at the end of that round. Well done. You had a good round.
Here, but I said that William should get the points for W.T. Stead.
Oh, really? Should he? Well, boo-hoo-hoo. He's not getting any of the points for W.T. Stead.
Come at me. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to fucking slay.
You think you did? Yeah, come on. Okay. Right. Oh, so if just to start off, if I told you that I would see you right in exchange for a topless one-hand shandy, would you understand what I mean?
I know what a shandy is. And topless, I gotta assume, has to be no foam.
No, there'll be plenty of foam.
Okay,
Lots of foam. Right. Okay.
But I'm prepared. No. I know it's not a book open test, but I'm ready for my.
You bloody put that away, you dirty rotten cheat. You dirty rotten cheat. So Scott, your round is on the Franklin scandal. I'm going to ask you 18 general knowledge questions generated by honest and truthful AI bot, and the BS is all over the place, and it'll be your job to set the story straight, adding in a truth bomb or two along the way. I'll be the judge of what anything your truth bomb is worth. Are you ready, sir?
I am ready.
Who was the central figure managing the Franklin Credit Union during the scandal? A nice, easy one to start
That would be Lawrence King.
Yeah.
Lawrence E. King, if I'm not mistaken.
Larry.
Truth bomb.
Go on.
He was a celebrated operatic singer, and he very famously sang the what do you call it? The national anthem at the Republican National Committee.
Oh,
National Convention.
That is an excellent truth bomb. He was always also a chicken shack man. In which city did the Franklin scandal primarily take place?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, that's correct. It is Omaha, Nebraska. Of course, there's nothing, absolutely zero to know about Omaha's Nebraska, isn't it?
I think they got decent barbecue there.
Ooh,
I would say
nice.
it's probably pretty ghetto now. I probably wouldn't want to go to Omaha now. But I've never been to that part of the country, truthfully. I'm a New England man myself. But listen, I'm an America enjoyer. I'd love to especially if we got any listeners out there, I would love to check out Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah. Big it up. I think it sounds like a shithole. No. Let's go on. In what year did the Franklin Credit Union collapse, prompting the initial investigation?
Okay. I want to say it was either 87 or 88. I want to say it's 1988.
Yes, 1988. Ooh, spicy.
And Truth Bomb.
Okay, go on, Truth Bomb.
It was a part of a systemic collapse of all credit unions and not all, but a good portion of the credit unions and savings and loans is throughout the United States, which was facilitated by the Reagan administration, and the chief beneficiary of the graft that this resulted in were people who were associated with and connected to the Bush family.
Oh, what a surprise.
Neil Bush barely dodged going to prison because he was a manager of several other savings and loans, much in the style of the Franklin Credit Union. But anyway, so that's my truth bomb for that.
That's a good truth bomb. You get a point for the truth bomb. How much money was reportedly missing from the Franklin Credit Union?
Okay. I know it was over $10 million. But I don't know that there's like a figure, because that's the thing. They had a second set of books, so who knows where all that money went. But it's over $10 million.
Well, I can't give you that. That's $14 million. Oh, it's too late. I already told you the answer.
Okay.
So be careful. You get deducted points.
All right.
Willy-nilly. If I feel it, I don't know. Maybe I should right now. Maybe I should.
You put your finger on the scale for the
dangerous.
British side.
Yeah, no, I know. And there's a lot of corruption, though. There is a lot of corruption.
Sure.
But he is English, so that
You're right.
Yeah.
I might have picked a good adversary then.
Yeah. Who chaired the Franklin Committee?
Easy one. Lauren Schmidt.
Is that an easy one? It's only easy if you know them. Do you know anything about Lauren
I read
Schmidt?
the book twice. Yeah. Lauren Schmidt.
Right,
well, he was a state senator. And he was a immediate believer in the conspiracy. Up through the entire the committee, and afterwards when the committee was over and what's her name, Alicia Owen was being prosecuted for perjury, and further he actually testified on behalf of her defense.
Okay, that's a correct for Lauren Schmidt. The correct, nice extra truth bomb point there. How did Gary Caradori die during the investigation? Probably the least suspicious way.
His plane was shot down, I assume, in some capacity.
Wait. You want to say just a basic
plane
answer?
Crash. Plane crash.
Good, nice. I like it. Yeah, plane crash.
And truth bomb.
Okay, go on.
He was almost certainly fucking shot down, as based on evidence that was gathered by the NTSB.
Those nefarious NTSB, whatever they are.
And William Casey personally looked into the case. By the way.
Hey, listen, William Casey has never done anything wrong in his life.
As far as he's certainly an expert kayaker and dinner cooker.
He's enjoying hanging around in I think it was Madrid or Barcelona during those Iran-Contra meetings, but he was probably just staying in the hotel as a nice little kind of. He was
getting tapas and paella.
Yeah, that's the way. Okay, name one alleged. Okay, you get a truth bomb point and the original point. Name one alleged victim who claimed to have been abused at parties hosted by Larry King.
Can I get extra points for multiple?
No.
Okay.
And if you get one of them, if you get two, then William will get an extra point for that one that I denied him before.
I'm willing to make that terms. So I got
Okay.
Alicia Owen, Troy
Yeah.
Boner or Bonner.
Yeah, okay,
I prefer Boner, and Danny.
I prefer Boner. Yeah. You can have the extra point, the truth bomb point, and William gets a point as well.
You're welcome,
just to make it fair. How long was Alicia Owen sentenced to prison for her conviction?
I don't know the number, but I'm going to make a guess that the perjury, I think she got the maximum sentence for perjury, which is absurd because she was telling the truth. But I want to guess 15 years.
Ooh, 9 to 15 years. So I'll accept that right on the cusp of the end, on the edge of it. So she did get sentenced to 15 years in prison. Which alleged victim claimed to have been involved in abductions linked to the scandal?
Abductions. Paul Bonacci.
Oh, you're very good at this. Yes, correct.
Paul Bonacci, by the way, also allegedly was on scene. Truth bomb.
Yeah, good.
He was on scene for the filming of child sexual abuse material, and he also had a hand. He claims to be the kidnapper of one Johnny Gosh, the original kid on a milk carton.
Okay, wow. Was there any Alfred pleas or whatever they call them back then? Could they
Sorry, what?
When they don't get prosecuted for their own crimes in America?
Oh, Alfred pleas.
Yeah.
No, I think all the bad guys got away completely. They didn't even have to do that.
All right. Okay. That's what can you do? What can you do? You can't get these guys. They're slippery. Okay, you get a point down. You get the truth bomb. It's crazy. What was Larry King's nickname within his social circle in Omaha?
Oh, it's funny too. Oh man. Something about his singing voice, maybe. I gotta pass on this one. I don't know this one.
Okay. It's the Prince of Omaha. He's the Prince of Omaha because he's so hot. Clever. Who was the Nebraska state senator known for his outspoken criticism of the investigation's handling?
That would be one John DeCamp, author of the Franklin cover-up.
No, it's Ernie Chambers.
Come on, that's not fair. That's bullshit because they're both true.
Well, there you go. The AI chooses
Chambers,
what's true.
Truth bomb.
Yeah,
Ernie Chambers was the co-chair of the Franklin Committee.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. And do you want to add in the other bit of information as well as a truth bomb as part of that truth bomb?
Up to you.
Okay. then no.
So John DeCamp was a state senator, and he also was a critic of the handling of that entire investigation. For the record.
Okay, give you the point there. What was the name of the documentary released in 1994 that explored the Franklin scandal?
That was not released in 1994, but it is called The Conspiracy of Silence, and it was produced by Yorkshire Television.
Oh, there you go. Well, it says there, that it was it's somewhere else. I don't think it's on here, but somewhere else said it was a Discovery Channel.
It was a co-production of Discovery Channel and Yorkshire TV. Yeah, but
changing your story now. No, I'm joking. You're doing very well. I'll give you the main point, but the other is a factoid. So I'm not.
Okay, fair enough.
What was the name of the pilot who died with Gary Caradori in the plane crash?
This is just bullshit because he was the pilot. Gary Caradori was the pilot, and he was in the plane with his 8-year-old son, who I don't know the name of.
Okay, apparently he said Bill Bruce.
This is just not true. I think I would object to this AI rendering.
AI, there you go. So we got 5 questions left here. What was
Gary Caradori was a noted pilot. Why would he have another pilot with him in the plane?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't tell you. What was the name of the FBI agent who interviewed key witnesses in the Franklin case?
Michael Mickey Mott.
Yeah, Michael Mickey Mott, indeed. Yeah, you seem very excited by that.
I remember that guy. He died in 2020. He died very recently, and he's got a obituary page up online, and you cannot comment.
Oh wow! Okay, that's amazing. What was the name of the organization Larry King claimed to support with the credit union funds?
The name of the organization, Boys Town.
No, National Black Republican Council.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
What was the name of the private investigator hired by Noreen Gosh to investigate her son's disappearance?
Oh, Noreen Gosh. This isn't technically Franklin scandal related, but let's see. Did she?
Have you got a guess for it yet? Go first, Stephen.
I got to pass on this one. I don't know this.
Okay.
It isn't
Ted
technically
Gunderson.
Ted Gunderson. Oh, why didn't I know Ted Gunderson? Fuck!
Yeah, that's how these things
Ted
work.
Gunderson. Truth bomb.
Okay.
Ted Gunderson was the guy who created the archaeological record of the McMartin preschool that is found on page 17 of the Finder's FBI Vault document release.
Wow. Okay, so there you go. A 1 point there for the truth bomb on top.
How did I not know fucking Ted Gunderson?
But you didn't get Ted Gunderson, yeah. What was the name of the hotel in Omaha linked to some of Larry King's events?
Hotel.
Yeah.
I know he had a condo that he lived in. It was called Twin Towers.
Ah! No, it's definitely not that one.
Hotel, no.
The Cornhusker Hotel.
Okay, that was not in my head at all.
Brilliant name for a hotel. I like it. The Cornhusker. Sounds like the type of place these people would hang out. What was the alleged purpose of the trips to Washington, D.C. described by the witnesses?
That they were there to be, the witnesses claimed that they were being pimped out to Republican Party VIPs. And that's what they were there to do.
Yeah. To supply children for parties with influential figures is what they've said. It's like parties. I mean,
Truth bomb.
Go on, truth bomb. Yeah.
The parties were organized by one Craig Spence.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what was Craig Spence up to?
Craig Spence was a Republican affiliated, what do you call it? Lobbyist.
I thought you were going to say molester.
Oh yeah, but yes, well, that goes without being said. But he notably killed himself in the W Hotel in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh wow! Okay, well there you go. That's a good point.
While he was being investigated for child trafficking.
I like it. Not the child trafficking, but I like your round there. It was very good. For the specialist subject round, for William, he scored 7 points, 4 truth bombs, no bonus points, 2 extra points, and 1 corruption point. For Scott for WT Stead, that's 14 points in total. Scott's specialty subject round, the Franklin scandal, he scored 11 points, 8 truth bombs, no bonus points, no extra points, no corruption points, for a total of 19. After 3 rounds, the scores are Scott has 45 and William has 44.
Woo! America! USA! USA!
Like free, self-harming, non-binary letters, Will is going to tell me that I'm a butterfly, while Scott is going to teach our children that Jimmy Savile was a very nice man who was misunderstood by an uncaring system that didn't properly appreciate child love. Making this the right time to introduce today's hero and to play our first quick-fire picture round. In this round, we catch up with the hero of humanity himself, Jackson Hinkle, as he shows his crazy homosexual lust for mythical creatures. You will see some images of Jackson Hinkle in a Brokeback Mountain style pose, and our contestants have to tell me the mythical creature Jackson is in a tryst with and the exact location that tryst is taking place in a game I'm calling I Wish I Knew How to Quit You, Jackson Hinkle. Warning, you if you get only either the name of the beast or the location wrong, it will be handed over to the contestants for a chance to steal the point. It's up to our contestants to buzz in first. It's a quick fire round by shouting truth bomb. So you remember this, all right? You've got to shout truth bomb. Are you ready to play? I wish I knew how to quit you, Jackson Hinkle.
Truth bomb.
First one to shout truth bomb.
Truth bomb.
Scott there. Which mythical creature is currently Brokeback Mountaining Jackson Hinkle over here?
I think that would be referred to as a cyclops.
Yes, good. It is a cyclops. Where is this tryst taking place? Where is Jackson Hinkle being taken?
That is the Chocolate River at Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Oh, it was a very exact one. Yes, it's true. You got it correct there. Okay, get ready. Quick fire round. First one to say truth bomb. Here we go.
Truth bomb.
Okay, there you go. We got William. Who is it that has is riding Jackson Hinkle like there's no tomorrow?
That's Medusa.
Oh, it is Medusa. Now this is going to be harder. We want the exact location. I don't want just a city. So, go on.
It's on the White House lawn.
Oh, no. The chance gets handed over to Scott to potentially steal.
I believe that is considered the National Mall in Washington D.C.
You went for the same as well. No.
Oh, is it Rome? Is it Rome?
It's actually the Vatican, which is separate from Rome, as you know. But William gets 1 point there for getting it right. That is Medusa, but no extra points, no steal. Here we go. Get ready. First one to say truth bomb. You got to know it.
Truth bomb.
Scott, who is making Jackson Hinkle grimace, although that it's something painful happening behind him?
I would say that could be referred to as a minotaur.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to have to be exact and hand it over to William. William, it's not a minotaur.
A Yeti?
No, it's not a Yeti. It is officially it's the centaur, I'm afraid.
Right.
Well, how do we know that? We don't know what his legs look like.
Yeah, well, you got to, unfortunately, this is the way it's got to be. Get ready.
Also, centaurs do not have fucking horns, just for the record here.
Well, AI, tell that you got to have to train AI. You're just going to have to sit there typing. Centaurs don't have horns. Centaurs don't have horns. Okay, get ready.
Fucking computers are fucking me.
First one to say truth bomb. Here you go.
Truth bomb.
Okay, here you go. Scott's risked it for a biscuit. Who is holding on to Jackson Hinkle as though Biden is sniffing a child?
That would be Cthulhu.
Oh, you are quite right. That is Cthulhu.
And it looks to me that it is obviously the Grand Canyon.
It is Cthulhu at the Grand Canyon, and him and Jackson, obviously tentacles everywhere.
Jackson doesn't
that's
look
good.
happy.
2 point. He doesn't. He looks like it's almost painful, but slightly enjoyable too, in a painful way. That's how I would assume it is. But
I guess the stars were really right that night.
Yeah, there was the mouth of madness was gaping. That's all I'll say.
Jackson's Innsmouth was wide open.
Okay, right. We can definitely go to the next one for the Cthulhu reference. It's fantastic though. Okay, here we go. First one to say truth bomb. This should be fairly easy.
Truth bomb.
Yes, William, go on.
It's Sam Squamch or Sasquatch at the
I'll accept
pyramids.
That. Bigfoot or the Sasquatch at the pyramids of Giza. You get 2 points there. It is too true. Okay, fingers on buzzers. Quick one. Go.
Truth bomb.
Scott, it's almost like you're taking turns. Go on.
That is the Wolfman at Niagara Falls.
I will accept it is a werewolf. We don't call it a Wolfman
The
where
film
I'm
is
from.
titled The Wolfman, for the record.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yes, fair enough. Okay, I'll give you the 2 points for that. Okay, next one. Get ready. Fingers on buzzers. Here we go.
What is that? A dragon?
Truth bomb.
Yeah, I liked all of the run-ups.
It's a dragon at the Colosseum.
Indeed. 2 points there.
Right.
He is getting dragoned at the Colosseum. And one more. Here we go. This is our hero, the man of the hour. The best person in the world currently is Jackson Hinkle. Everybody knows this. And who is he with here?
Truth bomb.
I love this photo. Go on.
It is a mummy.
A mummy.
And it looks like it's at, I don't know.
Gotta get it right. I think William could steal this one if you don't get it right. Yeah, I've been there. Can
Amsterdam?
Oh, unfortunately, I'm handing it across to William.
It's a mummy at Le Moulin Rouge.
It is indeed. It's a mummy at the Moulin Rouge, and I love that picture. I think that picture is beautiful. That out of all of the pictures, it looks like Jackson Hinkle has finally found the love he deserved.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen a helicopter come down from inside the Moulin Rouge, and a swimming pool rise from the stage as well. It's quite an experience, I tell you. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. For the quickfire round about Jackson Hinkle, Scott scored 7 with no extras, and William scored 5 points, had 1 steal and 1 corruption point for enjoying it the painful way. And there you go. After 4 rounds, Scott is on 52 and William is on 51. Scott, if you had to choose between a night of sensual pleasure with a mummy or a night of hot rutting with Bigfoot, would you wear a condom?
Well, mummy definitely, because I mean, like there's like necrosis and stuff,
like cryptosporidium and stuff like that.
Yeah. But Bigfoot, I don't know. Listen, I don't think Bigfoot seems wholesome.
Okay, that's fair enough. William, as an Englishman, have you ever worn a condom, or are you trying to advance the empire for king and country?
Well, yeah, I became active in the 1980s, so of course I did.
Okay, yeah, of course you did. Would you pick winkles with Jackson Hinkle, if you know what I mean?
No, I don't. I'm not attracted to men.
No, that was just put it straight, why don't you? Oh, literally straight. I asked AI to give me some famous people who at one time worked secretly either for the CIA, FBI, or their precursors. I've added a red herring alongside each, and it's up to our contestants to guess who is the real-life Bond. We will alternate who goes first, and you both get a guess. You can only add a truth bomb if you get the answer right, and you can both guess the same answer. First up is Scott. So, Scott, this round is called Now, Bond, it's time for you to die. Who did Grok say worked for either the CIA or FBI? Was it either the third man's Orson Welles or Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Timothy Leary?
That would be Timothy Leary.
Okay.
Do I get to say it as well?
Yeah, William.
Yeah, okay.
What's your guess?
Definitely Timothy Leary, yeah.
Yeah, you should have probably been like, oh, I'm not sure what it is.
All right.
Scott, you should have been like, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's Timothy Leary, but I think it's Orson Welles. You know, you should have been like that. But yes,
no,
you're
Orson
both
Welles
right.
is wholesome. I love Orson Welles.
Yeah, everybody loves Orson Welles. Yes, excellent. William, you're up first on this one. Who did Grok say worked for either the CIA Was it, or FBI or his precursors, was it Old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra, or Old Blue Cock himself, Billy Bob Thornton?
Sinatra.
Oh, it seemed pretty quick as well. Scott, what are you going to go with?
I'm going to guess it was Frank Sinatra based on the fact that he had quite a lengthy association with the Italian, air quotes, mob.
Yeah, indeed. The posts on X of various conspiracy circles, they say, suggest these entertainers worked with the FBI and CIA, possibly as informants during the Cold War, while the FBI kept files on many celebrities. Sinatra's is public, and the CIA did fund cultural projects. Of course, that's what they say. Okay, the next one is up for Scott. Scott, who worked for intelligence? Was it everyone's favorite baby dust snorter, Alex Jones, or Gloria Steinem's deep cover boss, Hugh Hefner?
Both.
So is that what AI said? Is that what?
Okay, so
said?
what AI said, it's going to be Gloria Steinem's. It's going to be Hugh Hefner, and the reason being is because he probably had some sort of blackmail operation at the Playboy Mansion. I'm going to guess.
Okay, and what about you?
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I think St. Alex is completely on the level.
Yeah. That's the
Reminder
best
that InfoWars as a business entity is headquartered in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that a surprise? They must get wicked tax breaks. Massive tax breaks. Okay, here's next. Who did Grok say worked for either the CIA or FBI? The hostess with the mostess, Julia Child, or the man with 1,000 cake recipes, Chef Boyardee?
I don't know who either of these people are.
Do you know who either of these people are, Scott?
Julia Child is supposedly a CIA asset, yes.
Well, it was William who had to guess first. So now you've heard Scott say that out loud.
I'm going to say Julia Child.
Yeah, Julia Child. Oh, really? Yeah.
50-50
The
chance.
famous
I thought you were
chef.
asking me. What are people more?
No. We hadn't got there yet. You're first up next time. No, she apparently, the famous chef and television personality, worked for the Office of Strategic Services, the OSS, which came before the CIA, of course.
Yeah, I did know
but
that.
she definitely did do that. Scott, you're up first. I hope you know that.
I don't.
Was it William? Don't say the answer out loud. What do you think? Who worked for the CIA, FBI, or the precursors?
I like
Was it
Julia Child's
either?
hand here, by the way. Looks like a guy's hand.
Yeah, well, I think Julia Child looked like the type who would have guy hands. Just
I
saying.
think you're right about that.
So who's more likely?
Oh, I
Was
know
it
that one.
everyone's favorite bearer of bad news, Walter Cronkite, or the son of a freaky Satanist, Anderson Cooper? Which one is got the links there, Scott?
Truthfully, I think both of them did, but I know what Grok will say is that it was Anderson Cooper, specifically related to his Africa investigations that he supposedly just funded himself and went and fucking, just magically got this career in journalism because he just somehow got to Africa to cover some sort of fucking Civil War bullshit. So Anderson Cooper is the answer.
And what about you, William?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I'm sure Cronkite did.
I have chosen
same
people
thing.
who are likely to throw you off the scent, but you are quite right. In actual fact, it's more than that. It's confirmed that Anderson Cooper interned at the CIA for 2 summers while a student at Yale.
I'm
so
shocked.
he actually, shocking. Okay, and one last one. This is William up first. So here we go. Was it either the man who could make an elephant disappear at the circus, Harry Houdini, or the man who could make his body parts disappear at Jeffrey Epstein's house, David Blaine?
Well, I think you've given the answer away there. I think it's David Blaine.
And what do you think, Scott?
Harry Houdini was before the OSS existed. and possibly even before the FBI existed. So I'm going to guess, I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to guess also like William David Blaine.
No, you're both wrong, even though you're probably both right. Harry Houdini, the famous escape artist, reportedly worked with US and British intelligence in the early 20th century. FBI was created at the beginning of the 20th century.
Yeah, check the fucking early life on Harry Houdini, by the way, for the listeners.
Well, that's according to The Secret Life of Harry Houdini by William Kalush and Larry Sloman. He used his international tours to gather intelligence in foreign governments and police forces.
I think the name Gary Sloman sounds better when Scott says it.
Go on.
Gary Sloman.
Perfect. After the quick fire round, now Bond, you shall die. Scott scored 5 with no steals, so you got 5 total. William scored 5 as well in that round. After 5 rounds, Scott has 57. William has 56. 100%. That is 1 point in it. Scott, we enter the quick fire round. You will have 90 seconds to answer as many general knowledge conspiracy questions as possible. When your time is up, you will hear this sound.
So we penetrate the cabinets.
Are you ready?
Ready, Johnny.
What infamous conspiracy theory claims a secret group controls world events?
All of them.
Yeah, the Illuminati I was looking for. What political scandal involved the break-ins at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in 1972?
Watergate.
Correct. What conspiracy theory involves a supposed crash of an alien spacecraft in 1947?
Roswell, New Mexico.
Correct. What political figure was at the center of the Monica Lewinsky scandal?
Bill Clinton.
Correct. Which serial killer was dubbed the Milwaukee Cannibal?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, correct. Which serial killer was the former police officer in Russia with over 70 victims?
Pass.
Mikhail Popkov, the werewolf. Which serial killer built a murder castle during the 1893 Chicago World Fair?
Oh no. I know this guy.
You
I
can
can't
pass.
remember his name. Pass.
It's
Yeah,
quick
I can't
fire.
remember. I've read a whole book about him.
Who killed over 30 women as the dating game killer?
The dating game. Pass.
What scandal involved Reagan selling arms to Iran?
Iran-Contra.
So we penetrate the cabinets.
Correct. That last one was correct. There you go.
What was the name of the guy from the World's Fair?
The World Fair guy was H.H. Holmes.
Ah,
and the one who
Holmes,
killed
yes.
over 30 women in the dating game killer was Rodney Akala. There. Excellent. You scored quite well still, though. And we'll go over to William now. William, I'm going to ask you as many questions as I can within the minute and a half. When the time is up, you'll hear this sound.
So we penetrate the cabinets.
Are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
Okay, excellent. What crime involved the 1983 theft of 26 million in gold from Heathrow?
Brinks Matt.
Correct. Which serial killer was a nurse who killed over 40 patients?
Pass.
Charles Cullen. Which Kennedy was involved in the Chappaquiddick incident?
Ted.
Correct. What crime family did John Gotti lead?
Pass.
Gambino crime family. Which serial killer inspired the movie Psycho?
Pass.
Ed Gein. Which serial killer was a British doctor who killed over
Harold
200
Shipman.
patients? Yeah, correct. What crime involved the 1929 murder of 7 mobsters in Chicago?
St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Correct. Who was the acid bath murderer?
Who wasn't? Pass.
It was John Haig. Which serial killer was a female who shot 7 men in Florida?
Pass.
Which serial killer duo committed the most murderers in the UK? More murders in the UK.
Myra Hindley and Ian. I can't remember. Pass.
Ian Brady.
Huntley.
What mobster
Oh,
ran the
Huntley.
Luciano family?
That we penetrate the cabinets.
You could still answer. What mobster ran the Luciano crime family?
Jack Rubenstein.
No, it was Lucky Luciano,
there you
the
go.
infamous Lucky Luciano. Well, gentlemen, that's it. We got, of course, to the end of the round, and it is quite close. The final score stands at Scott with 62 and William at 60. Scott scored 5 in the quickfire. William scored 4. So it is quite round. But as always on Truth Bomb, there's a chance for one last Truth Bomb, which is worth 3 points. And will, of course, potentially win it for William here. We always say you can say whatever Truth Bomb you like to try and win the points. And we are going to start off with the person in the rear. That is William. Right, then, William, go on. Tell us, give us one last Truth Bomb for the road.
My truth bomb is simply that Cecil Rhodes invented globalism, and contrary to historical, the official historical narrative, whereby after his death, the British Empire lost its, his dream is in ruins because the British Empire declined after World War II. That's bullshit. The British Empire just rebranded itself. It became the global liberal empire. It's all banked by the same banks. It's run by the same people.
So your Truth Bomb is that the globalism is just an extension of the Milner and Rhodes plan for British supremacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Scott, at the moment, of course, because just by how it goes, he's winning because you've still got to give your last Truth Bomb in that sense.
I'm ready.
So come on, give me a Truth Bomb that's worth its weight in gold.
So I want to talk about the Odyssey Foundation, which is a group of male chicken hawk pedophiles who was started by this guy named John David Norman, who was distributing child pornography and arranging for child escorting, air quotes. He was associated in Texas in the 1970s, 60s with a guy named the Candyman Killer who was killed by one of his victims. And then John David Norman guy went to jail, in which he created, from jail, he was able to sell a journal through mail order through prison in order to pimp out boys all over America. And when he got out of jail, he was mysteriously bailed out of jail by a mysterious rich benefactor from California. He then went to Chicago after that and participated in serial killing activities with John Wayne Gacy. And also they were involved in this other group, a child sex trafficking ring based out of North Fox Island in Lake Michigan, created by Francis Sheldon, who, by the way, when he was bagged, or he was going to get bagged for this, and where did he go? Where did he and Adam Starchild go when they left America? They went to Belgium. You will note that Belgium is another hub of child abuse and trafficking stuff. So the entire world is all a spider web of boy touchers primarily, but the entire dark underbelly of intelligence and intrigue, deep state intrigue, is funded by the sale of snuff film and child sexual abuse material that is primarily created by people that is derisively described in the media as serial killers.
Wow. So that was a hard one, wasn't it? I mean, I probably go to my just a bloke who asks questions to adjudicate there. He's torn as well. We're both torn about who should win that, because really Williams was concise about the fact that the British Empire is globalism, and it does hold a lot of weight. I've talked to Richard Poe on a fair few occasions, who seems to offer a lot of evidence for the same, and it's hard not to look at British history. But that was a sprawling machine gun blast of information there from you, Scott. That was like,
I think Scott deserves to win that.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
I think Williams deserves to win it.
Oh, damn. Oh, well, I am going to award the points to Scott. On this occasion, I'm going to award the points to Scott. It ends up, Scott gets 65, William gets 60. It was a good game. There'll be a chance for you to play against other people as well in the future. Your scores are some of the highest, so you're on definitely probably the on the top 5, both of you at the moment, of scores. So those that might be broken. You were it was very good. A lot of coherent points throughout. I really liked it. How did you enjoy it, gents?
Loved it. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Love it. It's been really good, and I find your stuff to be one of the best places. The History Homos podcast is one of the best places for me to go and speak, because there's not many people who have your breadth of knowledge on nearly all subjects. It's not just one or two, so you really, really do.
You did like study a different historical topic. When we started off, I wasn't even a conspiracy guy. I was kind of, I wasn't a government truster or anything like that. But try studying a different historical topic every week. After about 6 months, you'll be a conspiracy guy.
Yeah, isn't that true, Scott? Have you enjoyed this?
Loved it, Johnny. Anytime I get to talk to a titan of journalism like yourself, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, I do just enjoy you that much. And also, I love palling around on a Saturday morning, U.S. time, with my good friend William from England.
Of course, and look at that mustache, which is going. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for playing Truth Bomb. Hello. Thank you for watching that show. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate having your time and your attention just for a little bit. To make content like this, I need your help. I am constantly working hard to produce live shows, podcasts, truth bombs, and long-form investigative articles which expose a lot of what's going on behind the scenes. Continue doing that. I need your support. You can either support me via Patreon by becoming a patron, where you'll get shows like Truth Bomb early. You could support me by dropping me something on Buy Me a Coffee or on Ko-Fi, and I really do appreciate your support. Go to newspaste.com for more, and thank you again.
Young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina, and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets.